Dear friends, did Jesus flirt? Did Johannine Jesus, Jesus according to the Gospel of John, did he flirt? In the Gospel of John, chapter 4, we read about Jesus meeting a Samaritan woman at the Jacob's well. Such rendezvous are actually a common biblical literary topos. In Genesis 29, Jacob meets Rachel at the well. He has opportunity to show his extraordinary strength and put to shame a band of local youngsters. In Exodus 2, Moses meets Zipporah at the well, and Moses has opportunity to defend Zipporah and her sisters against the local bad boys. In both cases, that meeting ends promptly with a marriage. In Genesis 24, we have a little different permutation of that story. Abraham's servant Eliezer was sent to find and bring a bride for his son Isaac from their original homeland. And yes, Eliezer meets Rebekah at the well. Clearly, ancient wells were places where young people met, mingled, and flirted, where romantic and erotic relationships began. This romantic significance of meeting at the well has long been recognized and noted. And the evangelist John used this motive of Jesus flirting at the well as a vehicle for his spiritual and theological discourse. Romantic nature of such meetings is nothing new, and you might have known this about the Bible. But I want to point out a different aspect which might not be immediately recognized. I would like to point out its literary context and its significance. All these stories are rudimentary form of romantic prose. Substantial parts of the Bible are written in prose, and that helps us to date their composition, because prose genre is datable after Herodotus to the 5th century and later. Before that, all was just an epic poetry. And the romantic prose is pointing to even later times, far away from legendary patriarchal times. Of course, people always felt passion and fell in love, but they did not express it in this way, and especially they did not write and read romantic prose. If you really want to see an archaic version of this theme, you need to go to Song of Songs, say 4:15. Describing the loved one, you are like a fountain of the gardens, a well of living water flowing from Lebanon. But prose descriptions of romantic love appeared in the high Hellenistic times. The oldest surviving Hellenistic novellas date to the 1st century before Common Era. But there were clearly older writings which did not survive. Our biblical romantic narratives about encounters at wells are clearly rudimentary and archaic in nature, quite likely one of the earliest examples of romantic prose, but they almost certainly do not predate the 3rd century before Common Era. And that is something you might not know about importance of romantic prose and flirting for dating of the Hebrew Bible. And centuries later, evangelist John used this well-established literary convention as a vehicle for his spiritual and theological discourses.